Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only.
Anytime you need to close something now, you got to close out the NFL draft. It's the end of the 2022 draft. The New York Giants have wrapped it up, put it in the books. It's Tim. It's OGR. It's 312-1. Talking about everything draft related. Talking about this entire weekend. OGR looking dapper. He snuck in to the Giants locker room, as you can see, because this is also going to be broadcasted on the YouTube. What's going on, Mr. OGR?
I am doing fantastic. The draft has completed, and I have no hair, but if I had more hair, I'd be pulling it out.
Oh, so it went well for you, the draft.
Yeah. I'm a little red from mowing the lawn, but I'm good. I forget that I'm bald, and I forget to put sunscreen.
I do. I'm Irish, and I always forget to put in on sunscreen. And then you go out, and you come back like not even 10 minutes later, and you're bright red. The Giants, of course, we don't really need. I don't think you and I need to go into the beginning half of the draft, the Thursday half of the draft, the Thibodeau Neal part of the draft.
Oh,
I think that's a pretty solid pick. But I would like to get your perspective, just on the fact that how Trayvon Walker went and how kind of Thibodeau fell into our laps. In some ways, Neal, in my regards, fell into our lap as well.
Trayvon Walker, right now it looks like a dumb pick. Maybe I won't be saying that in 3 years. Like I say always, and I want to keep a reminder of this because some of these candidates we're going to be talking about later, I'm not high on, to say the least. And some I am, and some you'll probably be surprised what I have to say about him. But for the most part, Trayvon, I'll give him 3 years, but doesn't look like the smartest pick. You're going purely on athleticism and the fact that he wasn't used properly in Georgia.
Right.
So
yeah. I don't think that, I mean, I'm not a fan.
And one more thing. That's
go ahead.
Interrupt you.
No, you're not sorry.
Any person with any sort of football knowledge could have made those picks at 5 and 7.
I was, before you rudely interrupted me, I was going to say, and I was going to ask, is Shane truly the genius of the Thursday? Or could have anyone have made those picks? Could have anyone have said, oh, Kayvon Thibodeau's there, I'll take him. Oh, look, the best tackle in the draft is there, I'll take him. Is it luck or is it genius?
It's the way the draft fell. That's it. Hey, I mean, if you want to call it luck, because I don't call it luck, because the teams in front of you have to pick players.
Right.
So it just lined up perfectly. And I said the rumor before the draft was Kayvon. I thought the Giants were putting out all these rumors about Kayvon and not wanting to truly. I think the Giants were trying to get Kayvon the entire time.
Right. It was a little bit of misdirection, a little misinformation, a little bit of a smokescreen.
Yes.
And that's what I thought. But you know what? I'm still going to give the Shane, even though I think it was luck myself, I'm still going to give him the thumbs up. Hail to the king.
Hail to the king, baby.
Because I think that was you still have to make the picks. And I'm going to give him credit for that. Not that he ever went out on a limb for either one of these guys, but they are potentially linchpins. They are guys that could plug and play. If both of them do not start immediately, we got a problem. We got a big problem. Then the talent wasn't there, but these guys need to be not day one starters for the season, day one starters on the next mini camp. That's what they need to be. The moment
they show up with the
moment the lineup comes out, you just need to see these guys in the lineup. You need to see it on the depth chart.
Absolutely.
Now we're going to get into the second round pick. I know Wan'Dale Robinson is your favorite pick out of Kentucky, formerly from
totally. I am a huge Wan'Dale Robinson fan. Let me break it down for you, Tim. I'm just joking.
No. I want to hear it. I don't even want to wait. Because you know what? I said a lot about him already, but after you told me to watch his film during the live stream, and I watched the film, and you so succinctly pointed out that he's repeatedly getting dragged down from behind. And I'm thinking to myself, slot receiver, best. And then the Dable and the Shane come out and say, well, he's not really going to be a slot receiver or an outside receiver. He's going to be an offensive weapon. We're going to use him as a running back. We're going to use him in the slot. We're going to use him this. He's going to go get coffee. He's going to run up to work in the concession stands and the popcorn. But at 5'8" and not even sub, but 4.4 speed, is that really going to? I mean, we've talked about other players, but is that really going to translate for this offense? And plus, the fact they say he's a poor route runner. We already got a guy like that who's taller, can't wrap. And evidently, Big Ben is ringing.
Yes, and I'm going to have a very pissed off human being on my hands, but it is what it is. All right. Let me just mute myself. Continue on.
I will continue on. But I'm talking about, I mean, like I said, I think that Wan'Dale is you can't reach at whatever the pick was, 43 for a wide receiver when you need a big target wide receiver for Daniel Jones. People are saying it's going to be awesome that you're going to be able to line up Kadarius Toney. You're going to be able to put Saquon Barkley on the outside, and then you're going to have old Wan'Dale doing something.
All right, Tim, I'm back. Sorry for the interruptions.
That's all right. That's why we do this live.
But anyway, so
not Memorex.
Wan'Dale, I'm not crazy about him. I heard today that somebody was saying that, well, if you really want to set up Wan'Dale to be, great or good, you're going to need to set it up so he has a clear path off the line of scrimmage.
Okay. Because that happens every day.
So you're telling me the minute this kid gets jammed, it's a timing play, it's off, and there you go. Because if you're making this guy a weapon, he's going to be not the focal point of the offense, but for that play he is.
Right.
If it's a jet sweep, it's going to Wan'Dale.
It's almost like you're going to create a space for him like we tried to do with Kadarius Toney.
Exactly. And I understand multiple weapons, multiple looks, but these guys aren't the most polished route runners. Like, at some point, you need to get separation on your own.
Right. You have to be able to create your own options. And my thing is this with Wan'Dale. I'm not trying to slight the kid, but the fact that he's 5'8". How are you going to see him over the line of scrimmage? How are you going to find him? I don't need a Smurf. I don't need an elf. I need a prototypical 6'2". I'll even take a 6-foot wide receiver that Daniel Jones, who has enough problems processing plays, can find.
But not only that, it's just the reason I'm not high on him. Again, he gets caught from behind. But then I heard somebody else break it down and say he at times when he feels like he has open space in front of him, he drops the football because he's worried about the green in front of him. I've seen a lot of people point to the Iowa game. Bowl game.
Yep.
Oh, he had 86 yards in one drive.
Great.
Go to the Georgia game.
Where he was 12 catches for 33 yards?
12 catches for 39 yards.
39 yards. I always think. You know what the funny thing is? He had, I should phrase that, as many drops as he did touchdowns. He had 7 drops and 7 touchdowns. And you know what? And I hear he's going to be Cole Beasley. I hear he's going to be Isaiah McKenzie. You know what? Neither of those were taken in the second round for 43rd overall.
The thing is, I know we're bashing this kid right now.
No, we're not bashing.
We're not bashing, but I know we're not overly high on this kid. The thing is,
way to put it,
I'm going to give this guy time and space and allow him to prove me wrong. You got 3 years to prove me wrong, kid. Good luck.
But his skill set, in some regards, so much overlaps Kadarius Toney. Except for Kadarius Toney has more speed. But the skill set are so similar.
They are, but to me, I think Kadarius this is not going to make much sense, but Kadarius short area quickness, but Kadarius is not a one cut and go guy.
No.
He's going to look to juke and dance. Where this kid is a one cut and go, he make that secondary cut for the most part. He's one cut and go.
Right.
He gets up to top speed quickly.
Which his problem is his top speed is as top speed as my 76 Oldsmobile was. It got up to speed quick, but then, it kind of petered out a little bit. My concern is if he cannot find the seams in the defenses, if he cannot find the holes in the defenses, that he's not going to be able, because of his size, to create. Well, first of all, he's not going to create mismatches.
No, he's not. And he gets
safety is not going to look at him and go, I'm staying away from that 5'8" guy because I can't hang with his shit. I'm stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, and not only that, it's just also you look at him, he's not the biggest and he's not the strongest. You see him get bullied around by press coverage in college. And not to mention, he's not good at blocking. He does nothing for you in the blocking game. How many times do you have a slot wide receiver either bump in a little bit inside just to get a chip on the outside so that back can get the edge? What do we have to go run to the opposite side now because we have a 5'8" wide receiver who can't block?
How soon until we hear Victor Cruz 2.0 talk?
Preseason. He'll probably have like a pop-off game in preseason. Yeah.
I was giving it 36 more hours because we had a subscriber so succinctly put the 5 stages of Giant fans with draft choices. 1, they're shocked and dismayed. Next minute, they are still angry, but calming down a little bit. 3, they're rationalizing. 4, it was a great pick. And 5, we just drafted the steal of the draft. We've gone through that the last 3 years. And I've said this today, and I'm going to say it again. If the name Gettleman was attached to this pick, would people still be like, this is an awesome pick? No. They would be like, now, but Deshane made it, and it's all of a sudden, we just found the next Jerry Rice. We just found half a Jerry Rice.
And you know what? There are short players that have done well in football. So I'm going to give this kid 3 years.
Name one. Name one. Name a 5'8" wide receiver who's excelled for
extended running backs.
Thank you. How tall was Percy?
Wait. I can.
Gerald the Ice Cube McNeil.
No.
Cleveland Browns.
Giant. 80s.
Giant.
Early 90s.
That's Stephen Baker.
Yes.
Stephen Baker wasn't 5'8". He was taller than that.
Was he? I thought he was pretty short. He was short.
Stephen the touchdown Baker. Let's see exactly what Baker was, because I think Baker was more skinny than I think he was short. Baker was 5'8". You're right.
Yeah, you're right.
He was 5'8", but you know where Baker was selected? 3rd round, 83rd overall. not 40-something. Good call though. Good call on the Baker. The touchdown. Yeah.
90 games, 141 yards, 141 receptions, 2,587 yards, 18 per play, or 18.3 yard average, 21 touchdowns.
But Baker had speed.
Yes.
There was a difference about that. Baker was referred to as the speedster coming out of.
But you know what? 4.4. I will say this, Tim. 4.4 in the 80s and 90s is speed then.
Right.
4.3, 4.2 now is speed now.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. But you can never compare errors. And I just want to say something to the people that are already going to bash this. We are not bashing the kid. We are giving our opinion on what we feel. We are not experts. We are not experts in the field. We didn't stay at a Days Inn. We can't do brain surgery. But what we can do is, as fans, make commentary that is backed with either statistical data or factual data over NFL history. So I don't want anyone sitting there telling me, you're bashing this poor kid. No, we're not doing that.
Tim, speak for yourself. In high school, I operated on a fetal pig and was able to get into the brain cavity. Successfully, may I add.
Did you stay at a Days Inn?
In 2001. Yes, I did.
Who would you like to talk about next? We don't have to go in order. Is there anyone anyone particular you want to talk about?
I do want to go over the 3rd round picks right now.
Okay.
Because those are the guys that I have the biggest problem with.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you go first.
You got to help me with his name. The guard out of North Carolina. I know we took 2, not the guy in the 6th round.
Joshua. Joshua. We'll just call him Joshua. We'll call him the Joshua tree.
Ezudende or whatever. I don't know.
I don't want to get. I don't want the fact that I'm going to butcher the kid's name.
Yeah, well, I'll do it for you. Anyways, so good feet,
right.
Excellent feet, able to pull.
Okay.
Good in pass coverage, mirrors well.
Okay.
What I don't like is in pass coverage has a tendency to get driven back.
That's not a good thing.
Nope. And if he does that against Aaron Donald, well, Daniel Jones is going to be on his back.
He's going to get killed.
There are Giants fans that think this kid could be a day one starter. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, okay? He's not a day one starter. He is a project that we took in the 3rd round that should have gone round 4 or 5. That's where he was projected.
That's right. I think you more meant.
Gentlemen, what brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
I think that's more what you went in regards to the Kool-Aid.
And if you watch his run blocking highlights, they're terrible. Right? That's all I can say. It's terrible. I watched another Giants channel break it down, and they were trying to be positive in the run blocking. They're trying to show this kid's upside, and they struggled. Because everything they put on the screen, he's hugging the guy.
Yeah, that's not.
He cannot get his hands inside his first punch. He misses it. They deflect to the outside, and he's bear hugging the guy. And because half the college refs are drunks and can't call a holding call, he does that in the NFL. I'm telling you right now, false starts and penalties are going to be a problem for this kid early on in his career.
I see holdings, and he was taken 67, and someone sent me this. The consensus area where they thought he would go earliest was 177, and we took him 67. That was the consensus of the professionals. My thing is he's 6'4", 308. I don't see him bulking up. Like Neil, I can see putting on some more weight. If you look at this kid, I don't see him bulking up as much, and he's going to be an interior lineman. So again, it's like I don't want a 270-pound center. I don't really want to sit there with a 300-pound guard trying to be my bulldozer when I'm running off tackle left or off tackle right. I need someone to clear the lane. I need someone to plow the road. That's what I need. And I don't know if this kid, like I said, this kid to me, I didn't know much about at all. I had to go and do a lot of research on him. I didn't, and it's, how's he pronounce his name? Izudu.
That's pretty darn close.
Izudu. I'm looking at how they're spelling it. You're right.
Phonetically.
They put it out phonetically for me. And everything says technically he has some kinks, which that's a big issue with me. They say he's athletic, but then they say he's got below average power at the point of attack. And I love it because, to your point, grabs and hugs will turn into holding. For those that have watched or watching this on YouTube, the first thing they teach you from Pop Warner when you're an offensive lineman, I played offensive line when I was in Pop Warner. I was like 9 years old. But the first thing they teach you is you get in between the tits. You take your hands and you get in between there, and you're there. If you're going to hold, that's where you hold. You don't hold on the outside. You don't grab around the neck. You don't bear hug. You get on the inside of the shoulder pads, and that's where you keep your hands. So a bear hug technique is not going to go very well in regards to this.
I 100%.
Oh,
and that brings me on to my next.
That's my first 100%.
And
my teacher said I would never amount to much, and I got 100. Screw you, Mrs. Smith.
No, and not only 100, and 100 with 2 smiley faces.
Oh. Screw you, Mrs. Fiscarelli. I made something of myself. I got 100% and 2 smiley faces.
So do you want to go on to Mr. Flott now?
I'm excited about the 100%. I could end the show right now.
I know you.
Yes, I think we should.
All right. So Mr. Flott out of LSU. This
First,
is what
you
I'm
gotta love
going
the
to.
name.
Yes. There was a comparison put out today. Tell me if you know this big name cornerback.
Okay.
Lorenzo Ross.
Lorenzo Ross. No,
It's a rhetorical question. You
I'll say no, I can't. I do not know that name.
He was drafted in 2015 in the fifth round.
Okay.
By the Denver Broncos and has been
Okay.
hopping around the league and barely gets out of practice squads.
Okay.
Has played in
I have
16 total games in his entire career. Out of Tulane.
With Madre Harper.
So I'm telling you right now, this kid was a 5th or 6th round projection. Giants fans are trying to frame him as he's a steal in the 3rd round. No, he's not. Because not a single person, their opinions on this guy line up. They're all over the place.
Well, he was taking 81st. Consensus was 194.
Yep.
Where he should go.
And not only that, what bothers me about the kid is, 1, he's handsy. 2, every time people break down the film, they show the Mississippi State games. This kid was a god against Mississippi State. Any other team, no bueno.
I saw, you know what's funny? I saw that I went and Googled this kid and went to YouTube, and everything you saw was the you're right, the Mississippi State game.
And not only that, Tim, go look at the Ole Miss film. And he didn't have a lot of pass breakups in that. He didn't have to do a lot of things coverage-wise in that game.
Right.
But watch the tackling. As a defender yourself, you're going to look like me by the end of the week. Bald.
So he's not a good tackler.
He's not a good tackler. I've heard people try and sit there and say he's good in man.
Okay.
He's not. To me,
right.
He's a zone corner. He's better at zone because he's better at reading and reacting. And the zone allows you to do that. So I don't see how he fits into Wink Martindale's system. Because I see Wink, I see attacking style defense, I see disruption, I see man. I don't see how Cordell Flott fits into this team. I don't.
Well, he was another guy that I didn't do a lot of research on at the beginning of the draft. And now I went back and I looked at it, and first thing I wrote down, because I actually wrote some things down, tackling is questionable. And he over pursues and he reaches for his tackles without wrapping up. And he tries basically to either deliver the blow or hip check people out of bounds instead of just wrapping up and driving into the to whoever he's tackling. He doesn't seem to do that. And they also said that he's to your point about not being a man-to-man guy, that he does not backpedal well, which allows people to get by him, and he doesn't have the pure makeup speed. There are guys in this league that are not great at backpedaling, are not great, but they have what they refer to as makeup speed. So they can make up for their misgivings on certain portions of their game. And he doesn't have that. Now, what do you say to people that say, well, he has the prototypical size? He's almost over 6 feet, 170 pounds. He'll probably come in about 185, 190, somewhere down the road. That he's that big physical type corner. Or he can't be that. Well, I know that, but I'm just telling you what people are. That's what I'm telling you what people are saying, not me. Don't get at me. I didn't do it.
So basically what you're telling me is we drafted a corner with prototypical size.
Right.
I can't even say prototypical speed because he doesn't even have that.
Okay. How do you think he would fare as more of let's say we keep him in let's say we just do a zone defense with him. And we use him kind of like Isaac Yiadom was used. Now, I know it's a bad name to bring up, but kind of like Isaac Yiadom was used, where he's more of a physical corner just for his size, and he's used more as a pass rushing option because Wink likes to bring his corners, not as much as Patrick Graham did, but Wink likes to bring his corners.
I got a joke on this one. If he goes up against Malik Willis, he's going to miss a tackle, and Malik's going to take off.
Oh God, Malik's going to toast him.
But honestly, I don't see it.
Okay.
Now, we could talk about we could segue this into another player if you're done on Cordell Flott.
I'm done.
Okay, so we're going to kind of skip skip around a little bit here.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I said.
And
You
we're
don't
gonna
have to go. You don't have to go in order.
And we're going to talk about Dane Belton out of
Okay.
Iowa. Another guy I think was overdrafted.
Yep.
He led Iowa in interceptions last year.
Right.
And pass breakups.
Yep.
Now, people will sit there and call him a true ball hawking safety.
I think he had 5. Did he have 5? Was it 5 interceptions last year?
I think it was 5.
Yeah, it was 5. I just looked up. It was 5 interceptions last year.
And I think he led him up in pass breaking. Now, they say he's a true ball hawking safety, but then when you go into the nuance of it, how can you be a true ball hawking safety if you can't cover?
Well, they had. I mean, I I can't. I was going to try to say something smart because he also played. He kind of played the quasi hybrid linebacker, outside linebacker, safety position. So I can't say that he played a true safety position.
What I'm trying to say, he's in the box safety, something we needed. I just think we overdrafted him, and that's what I was going to lead on to.
But can he be a contributor? That's my question.
I think he can because I think Julian Love sucks.
Hey, listen, don't be mean to Julian Love. I like Julian Love.
I don't think you like Julian Love.
I do like Julian Love. My wife is in love with Julian Love because we went to a preseason game last year and someone got hurt. And I don't remember who got hurt, but someone got hurt. And Julian Love was the only one to go over and check on him. So my wife goes, oh, he's so nice.
He's a nice person. That's
he's the only one to go over and check on him. So that's why I like Julian Love. People forget Julian Love got benched last season. He didn't get back on the field to play slot corner until we had injuries.
So I'm not high on Dane Belton. A lot of people are. I'm not crazy about it.
I'm going to say this. I think what pushed him up, or I don't want to say he was a reach in the 4th round, but I think he's got speed. He's got some speed. I think he ran. I think it was either a 4.43 or a 4.42 or something like that. So he's got speed. And I did watch some of his game films, and I think he has what I like to refer to, and this is what some people are saying about Wan'Dale, is he's got game speed. But is he good? I personally think that, to your point, he's going to be used like they did with Logan Ryan and like they did with Peppers. They are going to put him like 60-something% of the snaps as an in-the-box safety, almost a quasi-hybrid linebacker safety thing like those two played over the last 2 years. And I think that's the direction. I think that's the direction the Giants are going to keep him at. So I don't think they reached on this one. I think he is a fit for the system. And before we get into anyone else, I want to talk about this for a moment.
He is a fit, and I think a lot of these guys may be fit for a system.
And this is what I want to talk about before we get into anything else. This is what I want to talk about. Because Shane was mentioning this, that these guys may not be, the best talent, which I was kind of shocked that he was basically spewing the fact these guys may not be the best talent. But they may have the intangibles. They may have the size, the speed, or something that I actually have the quote that he said. And I thought this was very interesting. I want to talk to you about this. He says, if they have height, speed, and character, the history of these guys developing is a little bit higher than others. Definitely when you get into day 3, you do take that into account. It's important, I think. Now,
here's the problem. He also preached a lot of versatility.
Right.
And yes, most of the guys we drafted, except for a few, have versatility.
Right.
The problem is jack of all trades, master of none.
Oh, I like that.
And
I like
the reality is it sounds like we're trying to put more Band-Aids on a bigger problem.
But the question is this. If you have a team that is so deficient in talent, that has so many holes, isn't it better to take people that can they may not be the best at what they do, but isn't it better to take people that can possibly play multiple positions, which will allow you to maybe confuse I said this last year. 2 years ago, when we were running the defense, 2 years ago, we were a defense of substitution. We put people in the right spot at the right time, and it worked. And I said that, and then I said last year we needed to be a team of versatility, where we need to have the same 11 guys on the field, but play them in different spots to confuse the defense. Because once you get film on something in the league is going to figure it out. Look at the 46 zone, look at the run and shoot. There's so many different nuances of that. And I think what maybe Wink is wanting to do is the fact that they are so devoid in talent in some regards on the defense that they have to mix things up and keep people guessing.
And that's, you know what, and I'm hoping that happens, but you got to have the guys that can, you know, the speed and the quality to execute what you want to execute. And I just see the Giants getting burned a lot this year.
Oh yeah. But you don't see, do you think the combination of Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari and Roche do you see anything special out of those three? Out of that, not just as individuals, but as a tandem, not a tandem because tandem would only be two, but as a cohesive unit, as a blitz package.
And yes, I do. I do
Okay.
see it. And I see, and we could talk about actually two guys simultaneously that will contribute to that if you'd like.
Okay.
To.
Sure.
And that is Mr. DJ Davidson out of Arizona State.
Okay.
And that is his counterpart in the 5th round, Micah McPherson. Or
Right.
McPherson. Out of Indiana.
McFadden.
McFadden, sorry. McFadden.
The linebacker taken 146 in the 5th round out of Indiana.
I like both these guys.
I do too.
McFadden, I like. Is very good blitzer.
Yep.
Led his team in sacks, 6.5, I believe, last season. Numerous all Big Ten, second or third. I watched him at Indiana, a player I enjoy watching, fluid, running to the ball, you know, diagnosing, getting to where he needs to be. Problem is, not very good in coverage.
Right. We don't need to cover. We're just going to blitz.
Yeah. You blitz all night.
Dude. You screwed it up. You farked it up because I was about to go.
No, I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night.
I was about to play that.
Well, you should have done it faster, Tim.
That's what she said.
Sorry.
Go
ahead. Lax coverage.
Also, not lax coverage. And then DJ Davidson, big body.
Yep.
A space eater, something we need, something we missed.
Almost a Dalvin Tomlinson fit.
Yes. A guy I like at Arizona State, big body.
Yep.
Actually surprising a lot of tackles at Arizona State. Did you know he had 57 tackles last year at Arizona State?
You know what's even more impressive? He's 25 years old and already on his 4th. It's his 4th anniversary, wedding anniversary.
Well, congratulations to him.
Most people don't know.
Yes, he is old.
He's an older player. That's what I was trying to bring up.
But you know what? Half a sack. You know, you're not asking him to get in the backfield. You know.
Right. He's going to be. He's going to do the dirty work. He's going to be the
dirty work. A guy we needed. A guy I like out of Arizona State. So let me get your 2 cents on those players, Mister.
I'm going to give you more than 2 cents. I'm going to give you 26.5 cents.
I can't wait till you cut that penny in half.
I'm very talented. I like McFadden. I think he is a guy that's going to be almost to the point that you're going to have Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to play with his hand in the dirt. I think he's going to play standing up in the linebacking position. I think he is going to be a off the ball linebacker. I think there's just so many different things that he is going to do for the team. I see some people are like, well, he's going to be a first day starter. I don't see him as a first day starter. I see him as a substitutional piece. I see him as maybe an integral piece for the Wink system. And I think he is going to find himself. The Giants are going to find him to be having a rotational value. And I think that's what I like about what I actually like the pick a lot. I thought he was going to I personally thought he was going to go a little higher. I thought he was going to go up around the 4th round, but I think for the value, he's going to be there. Davidson, I like Davidson, older guy. I like older guys when they come out. I don't like older guys when they come out to a young team because I worry a lot of times that you peak athletically, especially for certain linemen around 27, 28. That's where your athletic peak is. It's also a proven physical fact. That's where your body is usually at its peak. I peaked at I'm still peaking now. I don't want to brag. But I think he can fill the spot, do the dirty work that we missed with Dalvin Tomlinson not being there.
All right.
But wait, I got another question for you because this is a question that's been bugging me a little bit. We're talking about defense. We're talking about Wink. I think Kayvon Thibodeau fits the Wink system. I think Azeez Ojulari fits. I think Davidson's going to fit. I think McFadden's going to fit. I think Blake Martinez will fit. I'm talking just about guys in the front seven. I have a massive concern about our old buddy Leonard Williams.
King of the almost sack.
And I have a concern with Dexter Lawrence. If you look at and you go back and look at the people that ran the line or are on the line for Wink the last couple of years, you've had some guys that were studs. And you had a big body like Calais Campbell. I'm not 100% sure where either of those two truly fit into the system. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, they're going to be defensive ends in a 3-4 system.
But
I don't think they fit.
They don't fit. Yannick Ngakoue was there as well at one point in time, so he fit the system. What's his name? Was it Judon? I can't remember. It's Judon.
Yep.
Judon. Yes, he was there. He was another guy that was there in the system,
and they dropped it. Was it all way out of Penn State? Away,
yep.
Whatever.
So they fit the pass rushing, quick. Well, not Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell's more on the inside, but they fit the mold of what you need in that 3-4 attacking style. I just feel that you're not going to get enough penetration.
That's what she said.
With either of those guys to be effective in the system.
We'll see. To me, I feel 100% what you're saying, and I wish I could give more insight on this, but the reality is, to me, it's a wait and see approach. And that's all I can really say about that. But another guy drafted, just kind of segue into it because we have about 3 more to go through, and we have about 10 more minutes. Darian Beavers.
Oh, I wanted to get to Darian Beavers. First of all, I love the name.
I mean, we don't have to talk about Marcus McKinnon if you don't.
No, we can talk about Marcus, but let's talk about Mr. Beavers. That's what I want to call him. I want to call him Mr. Beavers. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I thought he was going to be a guy that went much higher. I thought he was a guy that just because of his versatility, how he played defensive end, how he played linebacker, how he played safety, that he was going to go, I would say, I thought he was going to go at least in the 3rd round. And he's a guy who played 62 games in college. And to me, he's a thumper. He brings the boom. He brings, like Malik Willis was bringing the boom. He can bring the boom. And I think as a stopper, I always used to say, especially back in the 80s, when you watch the Giants, they had a stopper in Lawrence Taylor. Lawrence Taylor just stopped things. And I'm not comparing him to Lawrence Taylor, but what I'm saying is when Lawrence Taylor hit you, it stopped things. It stopped the clock. It backed it up 2.5 seconds. And I'm thinking to myself that this kid can offer the same type of ferociousness, power, because sometimes you need someone to go out there and beat up a running back, beat up a tight end to the point when they get into the 3rd quarter or the beginning of the 4th, they don't want to get hit anymore. And I've told the story many times. My job once was just to hit people. And they would tell me, you just hit them right in the corner, you just keep hitting them. I said, why? And he goes, because when the 3rd or 4th quarter comes around and it's 4th and 2 and they're coming across the middle, I want them to think twice before they make that catch.
Yeah. And to me, Darian Beaver, that's all I can say is old school, physical, good at diagnosing, somewhat of not the greatest athlete in the world.
No.
But a guy who's going to give you 100% effort. He's going to go out there and he's going to beat out of somebody.
Yep.
You like that self
Oh, I like that.
don't you?
Oh, I love that. I love the bleep, but I just love the fact that he's gonna beat the shit out of somebody. I don't need to bleep it. 'Cause that's what I want. I want some nasty.
And that's what this kid's going to give you.
That's what I want some just.
But I think he's starting off on special teams. To be
told. Oh God, yeah. I don't think he's going to be a rotational piece in the beginning. I think he's going to be somewhere in special teams. Like you hope by maybe like week 7 or 8, he's finding a spot in the rotation. But the fact is that he could play. Like I said, he played safety, he played linebacker, played defensive end. He again, we've said it before, a versatility. Because I think that's how Wink is going to try to disguise what he's doing, unlike Patrick Graham did that last year. A lot of times when you saw the packages last year, you knew what the Giants were running. And everyone talks about how wonderful the Giant defense was last year. It sucked. It dropped something like 17 spots from the year prior.
Absolutely. So there's one guy in this draft I really didn't do any sort of prep before this. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And that's Marcus McKinnith. You could talk about him, but I do want to get to Daniel Bellinger because that's a guy I really want to spend some time with.
I didn't do a lot of another guy. I just knew he was a big kid. He's like 6'6", 340. They say he's a mauler. They say he's a guy that's going to reach on to you. I think it's a depth piece. I think the Giants are just trying to find a plethora of tackles and guards and just bring them all in and pray to God. One of them or 4 of them or 3 of them or whatever's going to stick. So I if he made the practice squad, I would be happy with, I'd be happy with that. If he made the 53-man roster, unless he was really impressive, I would be more concerned about the state of affairs of our offensive line.
I would agree with those assessments. I really didn't do a lot of research on him, so I can't speak a lot to him. I'm not even going to sit there and pretend that I know. That's all I know is the little bit of film that I was watching on his counterpart in North Carolina. When I peered over to the right side of the line, I didn't like what I saw.
No. I mean, like I said, if he's on the team, something bad happened.
And last but not least, my favorite pick out of our top 2 we've taken, Dave Bellinger.
San Diego State.
6'6" and 7/8 inches.
The big tight end who had 0 drops last year and 31 receptions.
And the reason he didn't actually get more activity is because San Diego State's a big run team.
Right.
They're all about the power running game.
And he's a good blocker.
He is a good blocker, but he's a kid that I think can develop into an all-around tight end. I think he can be the stalwart that we have been looking for in 2-3 years' time. And I expect this kid to start day one because I think he's the best blocker right now coming out of college that we have in this room.
Right. You know what I like about him? I watched a lot of film on him the last day. I like the way he secures the ball. I like the way he catches. He catches
it away from his body.
Thank you.
Strong hands.
Yes, you're not going to get the Evan Ingram feel with this kid. In some ways, I think he is coached properly in reference to how to look the ball into his hands and where to position his hands and how to catch the ball.
And I also say a sneaky athlete. The times where he did, in his few receptions he did have, he made the most of them. And he would bail out his quarterback.
Yep.
You see these acrobatic catches either in the middle field, not afraid to deliver a blow, but not afraid to take the blow either. Honestly, I'm in love. I'm not going to tell you Mark Bavaro, but
well, no, I'm not going to. I like with Ricky Seals-Jones as to me as the I think with him. And I think combining the two, I think you have a good tight end rotation where you have one guy that's going to be the go-to guy.
Yep.
He's the pass catcher. And you have the other guy that's going to be the blocker, but still has the capability. Bear Pasco. No one wants to talk about the Bear because the Bear wasn't here. Bear wasn't here that long, and Bear was known for a blocker, but he was sneaky. Every once in a while, he would Kyle Rudolph it and get a pass and catch a pass. But I think this kid is going to do more than that. Like I said, I'm not calling him Mark Bavaro, not calling him Shockey, but I'm calling him early Zeke Mowatt.
Nuts.
That's what I'm. That's
And I will.
That's what I'm calling.
I'm not telling you this kid's going to develop into Travis Kelce.
No,
But if you look at the analytics and the actual like numbers across the board, they compare pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Just saying that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this kid, and this is a home run in round 4 to me.
I like that. Well, ooh, a home run. So after we're breaking this down, I mean, you look at this and we're thinking to ourselves, people are going to be like, well, you bashed all these guys, but they're not going to see all the good things we just said about them. If you had to put a letter grade, and I already got the A++ and 3 smiley faces. So if you had to put a letter grade on this draft, or just how, I'm not even going to make you put a letter grade. How would you review this draft? How would you say, if you are an Eagle fan or a Commanders fan, how would you look at this draft, and how would OGR say to themselves, this is what I see this to be?
Well, if an Eagles fan or a Commanders fan was in the room, they would tell us we got a D+, C- draft.
Okay.
To me, I think it's a B- draft. There's some guys, there's interesting prospects in day 3 that we took, kind of making up for the lack of what we had in the second day. And to me, guys with versatility, guys that can develop, the Shane guys, if you will.
We have the Shane guys already.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting how this year shapes out. But, if they can contribute and develop, that's all I can ask for.
And that's all. That's really all you can ask for. I mean, I gave this draft after the first round an incomplete because I don't know. And I say that not to be copping out, because I always give my opinion, but I give it an incomplete because I have no idea what Kafka's running and Dable's running. I have no idea exactly what system the Wink is going to run. If I look at this as a system value, I don't have a grade because I don't know. If you look at it as pure talent, you got to give the first round an A+, not an A++ with 3 smiley faces, but you give it an A+. I have to give the rest of this draft maybe a C-, because I personally think, and there's general consensus around experts, not us, that we reached on at least 3, if not 4 of these picks. And don't forget, we traded down to get these guys, and people still think it was a reach.
And the thing is, I think we could have traded down more.
Yes.
We could have traded down more. If that's seriously your target in the second round, trade down more. He wasn't coming off the board.
No. And I think
Guy Moore went 10 picks after him?
Yeah. I think there was guys that had better athletic value. And I read the quote about Shane saying about being athletic and all this stuff, but I think they had better athletic value. I said this when we did the stream the other day. I think these guys, not knowing what the system is, I think these guys fit what the Giants want their system to be. And I get concerned when you're trying to put pegs in holes in a system and not look at or take talent into more consideration than, well, he fits what we want to do. Because sometimes true talent fits anywhere. And it's difficult to sit there and say, okay, this guy is going to be good because he fits the system. That's why there's plenty of guys in New England that go play well in New England and go somewhere else. I'm not looking at you, Nate Solder, and can't play at all because they were a system guy. And I get worried. That's the only thing I get worried about with this draft. I think there was so many, like last year, I think there was immediate talent, but we went with projected talent. This year, I think there was better talent, but we went with systems talent.
And that's a great way to sum it up, Tim.
That's because I'm awesome. That's just the way I am.
You're awesome in every day that ends with Y. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes, I actually am. Stole my joke. I'm starting to hate you. I'm putting you back on the list. If you had to give a motto to the 2000, and I'm calling you on the spot on this one. If you had to give a motto for the 2022 Giants season, like the Mets always have, you got to believe, and the magic is back and everything such as that. If you had to give a motto for this team, what would the OGR Sports motto be?
Don't screw it up too badly.
I think that's a little bit long for a motto.
Right now, for me, the motto is versatility and I'm trying to think of the perfect words. What I'm just gonna say is jack of all trades, master of none. How about that? Not as long.
That doesn't fill me with hope. But I think it's
dude. I'm not filled with hope. I think we're gonna have 4 to 5 wins.
I believe that's honest. But that doesn't fill me with hope.
I'm not here to fill you with hope.
Yes, you are. You're supposed to be the good one.
Honesty. I am not the nice doctor in the drug rehab that's going to come over and tell you that you are a perfect person and that the drugs did it to you. No. Snap out of it. Grow a set of balls, okay?
I got big ones. So
that's what she said.
And see the vision that this team, it's a throwaway year.
Right.
4 to 5 wins.
Yep.
We want to see improvement toward the end of the season. We want to see pieces come together. We want to see things gel.
Yep.
Can these guys do it? Big question mark. It's in 2 to 3 years' time.
The only problem is, OGR, the show is not supposed to be bad cop, worst cop. Okay, there should be an okay cop somewhere. I want to close this out, but before I close it out, I don't know if you have your phone handy.
Yes, I do.
Get your phone, and I want you to go on your Twitter, and I want you to read the tweet that you did today, because I think this is I'm only bringing this up because I'm bringing this up about Malik Willis. He went to Tennessee and how certain segments of the Giants fan hate him and or dislike him for some unknown reason, but they have this, the certain segment of Giants fans have this hope for 2023. And I think your tweet kind of just summed it up perfectly.
All right. A lot of Giants fans pretend they want Daniel Jones long-term. The reality is they have had their eye on 2023 QB draft class the whole time. Man, they'll be disappointed because the Giants will have a 4 to 5 win season with a 4th place schedule. That's not good enough for a top 2 pick for CJ and Young.
I think that sums it up perfectly because everyone has hope. And we said this before, it's always hope for next year. It's always hope for something is going to go right next year, that we're going to find that diamond in the rough. But I think the honesty of it all has to be where we need to look and where we need to be for this entire season. And
I was actually getting hearts from Daniel Jones lovers, by the way.
And on that note, we are going to wrap 312 and 1 up for this week. Again, this is Tim. This is OGR. Bringing you the best that all the Giants have to offer. We're out of here.
Bring in the boom, baby.